Tell them boys to tighten up, tighten up.
Let me hear you say it.
Whole city getting hype now. Tell them boys to tighten up, tighten up.
Let me hear you say it.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Cass here, and we are here finally after a couple of days. I'm sorry guys, I've been watching some highlight tapes to get these grades for the Tennessee Titans 2022 draft grades. So, get into it. We're going to start with our selection at pick 18, our trade with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Tennessee Titans would select wide receiver out of Arkansas, TREYLON BURKS. TREYLON has shown skills of being a strong route runner and a good jump ball receiver. He has sneaky good speed, and many people have brought this trade down because of the A.J. Brown trade. I'm not going to do that because I do believe the trade benefits both parties. So, overall, I think the Tennessee Titans, if they could have re-signed A.J., if they had the money to, I think they should have. But if they were not content with signing A.J. for the money that he wanted, this is the perfect guy to get. You can't get a guy more closer to the way A.J. Brown plays than TREYLON BURKS. We're going to have to see how that resonates to the pro level. But first of all, I think this is a very good selection for Tennessee, B+. So, now we get into my opinion, the best selection that the Titans made the entire draft. And that is sticky Roger McCreary. So, when I say the term sticky cornerback, when I say the term sticky Roger McCreary, I mean that with, if you watch any of his tape, even when he gets beat, he doesn't get beat. And that's why I put that there. He never truly gets beat. Anytime a receiver gets past him, he catches back up. He's very on you at all times. That's what the Titans very much need. We saw some, when Fulton faced higher competition, he had problems being able to really go up against those number one receivers. I think Roger may be able to do that. I'm not saying he's going to be able to come in as a rookie and do that. Give him some more competition. Give him some more experience on the NFL level. I think he could very much be our number one corner. So, keeping going with that. And the reason I say that is because he didn't play sticky competition against low D1 schools, like, for example, a Sauce Gardner. Not saying that Sauce is bad, but I'm saying that, in my opinion, I would have took Derek Stingley and Roger McCreary over Sauce for the reason that he played lower down competition. I prefer the idea of players out of divisions like the Big Ten and the ACC to an extent, and the SEC. I like players out of there because they face higher competition, more reasonable times than, say, All-American League school. So, I really like to pick a cornerback out of Auburn, Roger McCreary. We go on now to nflhighlights, the offensive tackle from Ohio State. Once again, we're getting into that Big Ten play. Faced great competition. Knows how to win as well. And he's good in run block and reliable as a pass blocker. And that's what the Tennessee Titans haven't had over the years. We haven't had a real guy that can do both. I guess the closest we've had to that would be Ben Jones and Taylor Lewan, because they're good at both. But when I mean reliable, nflhighlights is very reliable as a pass blocker. He's probably a better pass blocker than he is a run blocker. And I very much see him playing right tackle this season for us, being the starter at right tackle this season. And the reason I say that, and the reason I'm reliable with that, is he has such good injury history. You go back and look, no major injuries for nflhighlights. And I think that's very good. That's what the Titans very much needed with the stuff they've had with Taylor over the years, and even Roger last year. Now we're getting to Malik Willis. Probably, in my opinion, the steal of the draft. You got him in the third round. He has a very strong arm, an accurate arm too. Is what people really don't want to look at. Is he's got a strong arm, but when put in to having to throw the ball accurately, he can do that as well. He doesn't have the same speed as like a Lamar Jackson does, but I do very much comp him, and this is kind of weird. I very much comp him to be very similar to Ryan Tannehill coming out of Texas A&M. Ryan had a very strong arm coming out of Texas A&M, had good speed, even still to this day has really good speed. He's just a developmental project. That's what Ryan was when he got drafted by Miami. That's what Malik's going to be. And I just think it's going to take time for Malik to get there. And I know Ryan said he doesn't want to mentor him, but y'all took that really the wrong way. Ryan doesn't want to sit there and have to teach the kid everything. Malik's going to have to learn from example. And that's what I think Ryan's going to do. So now we get to another really surprising pick that we drafted. And I'm actually really happy we drafted him. And that's running back out of Michigan, HASSAN Haskins. HASSAN I watched very closely this previous year because I think, personally, he was the best overall football player this whole previous year. In my opinion, there was nobody better in college football last year than HASSAN Haskins. He single-handedly, him and Aiden Hutchinson, put the Michigan Wolverines team on his back. He is a strong runner and finds the end zone easily on the goal line. Now, what people really don't want to mention a lot is he has very surprising hands. Out of the backfield, he can very much catch the ball, which is something that we struggled with Derek early on, is him not being able to catch the ball at the backfield, something he struggled with at Alabama. So, another thing that's also the opposite of Derek, and I'm not saying Hassan's going to replace Derek. I think he's very much going to play that Deontay Foreman role. He's got low mileage on him. He didn't play a lot in college. He played, I think, 2 years at Michigan, and I think that's it. It's very good strategy for HASSAN Haskins. Now, we got Chig. Chig out of Maryland. I like this pick. 4.4 speed at tight end is lethal. But we're not going to say that is going to purely work into him having a positive career. We saw what happened with Evan Ingram. But the possible reason he's better is because with the ball in his hands, Chig is amazing. He's good after the catch. The ball, and I think the Titans are going to find a way to just get Chig the ball. And I think that's why they went out and got like an Austin Hooper and prepared. Because I think the whole time Tennessee was planning to get this guy. Because he is exactly what the Titans need from the tight end position. He's a polar opposite to Jeff Swain and Austin Hooper. And I think that's exactly what the Titans needed. So, we needed defensive back safety depth. A much more play safety does THEO Jackson. He's good in zone, but the thing that I think is going to make him the best, a really good pick for us, and a very good pick in the late round, is he's a great person. He has great character. When the Titans called the University of Tennessee, nobody had any bad thing to say about THEO Jackson. And that's what makes me think that he knows how to present himself as a professional. What I think they're going to run THEO in is going to be very much a 3 safety set. Very similar to what they did with Jonathan Cyprien years ago in Tennessee. I think that's what THEO Jackson should play. He shouldn't be left on an island by himself. I don't think he's going to, unless he shows experience that he can do that. So, yeah. And now, with our final draft pick, I think he's going to be much more of a special teams guy. I think there was more that we could have done here. But good in space, great on special teams, struggles in coverage, though. And there's a guy that I didn't put on this list that I'm just now realizing, and that's the wide receiver out of, I believe, one of the California schools, UCLA. Kyle Phillips out of UCLA. Has strong hands, plays more of the slot. I could see him playing a lot of the slot positions. And overall, a good pick for the 5th round. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been my grades of the Tennessee Titans in 2022. And this has been your boy Cass, and I am out. Bye, guys.
Tell them boys to tighten up, tighten up.
Let me hear you say it.
Whole city getting hype now. Tell them boys to tighten up, tighten up. tighten up.
Let me hear you say it.
Need